Welcome to Uping Stock Trend Prediction channel. So in this video, I talk about the secrets of the stock market black box, about the effective support and the resistance. So many people may already know the concept of the stock price support and resistance, but in this video, I'm talking about the effective support and resistance. So that means when the stock price hit this kind of effective support and resistance, they will change the stock price trend, change the direction, or will change the direction with a high probability. So if you are interested in this kind of video, and I invite you to subscribe the Uping Stock Trend Prediction channel using this icon at the lower price at this corner. So basically, if you know this kind of valuable information, you will know when is the best time to sell or buy stocks, so that you can maximize the trading profit and minimize the trading risk. Let's go to the question number 1. Are there invisible and effective support and resistance? The answer is yes. So there's some kind of hidden rules, and when the stock price hit this kind of effective support and resistance, the stock price trend will change with a high probability. Let me show you a chart. So this is a Tesla weekly chart, and so that means each vertical bar is opening, high, low, and closing the candlestick price of the Tesla data in each week. So each vertical bar is real-time data in each week. So the yellow trend line and the blue trend lines are the Uping stock trend prediction model based on the best U prediction model and the analysis model. So you can see this basically predict the effective resistance value, or that's the maximum value of the stock price in that week, or it can predict the effective support value or the minimum value of the stock price. That's a low stock price, low value of the many fluctuation cycles. So it can predict this kind of a maximum value in each week, in each specific time frame. So you can see this kind of a minimum value matches this kind of a predicted minimum value trend line, or this kind of a maximum value also predicted maximum value also matches this the maximum value of the actual high price of the stock price. They matches very well. This is the Apple AAPL monthly chart. So that means each vertical bar is a monthly open, high, low, and closing of a candlestick price in each month. So you can see this predicted trend line. The yellow trend line represents the effective resistance, or the maximum value of the stock price high value during that month. So this blue trend line, or the effective support, represents the minimum value or the effective support value of the trend line, and that captures the low value of the stock price in that month. So if you know this kind of information, then that will be very helpful for you to make a decision. So the question number 2, why are there hidden and effective support and resistance? So I will show you based on a flow chart. So this is a stock market. It's actually a kind of a black box. So there's many inputs that can affect the stock price input. So for example, the company performance, the companies, the financial status, their revenue, their earnings, their loss. So for that specific stocks you are interested in. So, and also there's some media news or report or different other some types of prediction or analysis. So there's a lot of news or information flowing around, but you don't know which one is fake news or which one is correct news. Even it is a correct news, but there's maybe a time lag when you see that kind of a report, or even when you see it immediately, but there's some other people, they may already got that type of information internally much earlier. So you cannot guarantee what you read is correct or the immediately or immediate information. So there's also the embedded fundamental market fluctuation. The stock price will always go up and down all the time. So it's a kind of a regular process. And also there's other traders impact, because there's almost like 14 million people of traders in the world, and based on the report, the 2017, there's about 4.3 million of online new traders in 2017. So, and also there's many major traders, they earn a lot of money. So those kind of stakeholders and also some other big investment companies, their decision or their kind of a trading history, that will also affect the stock market a lot. And also some other individuals, traders will also play impact in the stock price change. And also the individual traders' performance, like you and me. So we will also have some kind of our own trading strategy or trading habit, or even psychological impact, or our historical record of our stock record. So all this kind of information will affect the stock price input. And then the output of the stock price is what you can observe from the stock market. But you know what? Even for those output of the stock price, there's still some kind of a feedback, because this kind of stock price output, when people see this kind of stock price going up or going down, they may quickly follow other people or follow those kind of a trend. So they will give some kind of immediate or prompt response or action. So that will also give some kind of other feedback to this kind of other traders' impact and the individual impacts the performance. So that will also further affect the stock price input. So it's a dynamic process. It's also a complicated process. It looks like a black box. So the question is, are these effective support and resistance predictable? The answer is yes, it is predictable. Why? Because many kind of big investment companies, or maybe some big major shareholders, a lot of them, they may do those kind of automatic trading. They use a computer, use some kind of algorithm, and they use their own resistance and support and do some trading. So, but you don't know their embedded or hidden support and the resistance level. So you don't know how to actually follow their strategy, because when you try to follow the trend based on the output of the stock price, it may be already a little bit late, because they already predicted those type of stock trend and the support and the resistance, and they may already take actions much earlier. So the question is how to kind of predict this kind of effective support and resistance. So we developed some models. We can try to reveal those type of effective support and resistance that may be just used by those type of big investment company or major stakeholders. So for example, this is a high-low pro indicator and also prediction model based on the Uping developed high-low pro model. And this is a Tesla daily chart. And that means each vertical line is a real-time Tesla data in 1 day. That's a daily chart. So this is basically the candlestick of a daily chart. And you know there's some kind of hidden resistance or support that will already plotted in advance. So it's a kind of a prediction model because it's already predicted out even though the real-time data hasn't been finished in that time frame. So you can see for this kind of maximum value in that range, the maximum value that represents the resistance and the minimum value that represents the support, they matches this kind of resistance and support level matches very well. You can see this kind of support that matches very well when the stock price goes into that region or the band. So you can see this kind of minimum value or the support, effective support, predicted effective support value also matches the minimum value of the stock low price for different type of different cycles of fluctuations. And this maximum value or the effective resistance level also matches very well with the actual real-time data. And you can see this kind of different level. So when it goes to that date, and the minimum value also matches this predicted effective support value. And for example, when it goes to this region, the maximum value or the effective resistance value, the predicted value matches the maximum value of the real-time high value of the cycles of fluctuations of the data. So let's see another example. That's Apple AAPL weekly chart. So that means this is a weekly chart. So that means each vertical bar is a kind of real-time week real-time data. So for example, the predicted the resistance or the maximum value, they matches the actual maximum value of the stock price fluctuation. So you know stock price will fluctuate, go up and down during that day, but the maximum value of the high value matches this kind of predicted effective resistance very well. And even for this support, and the effective support value predicted by this high-low pro model also matches the actual minimum value of the real-time stock data. So for example, you can see this kind of matching very well. And if you know this kind of information, and then basically, for example, if you know this kind of band, when it have the momentum to go to another band, and if you know this kind of support, for example, even though you buy the stock at this point, you sell it at this point or sell it at this point, that's also a lot of money you can make. And for example, this is around $125 and this is about $150. That's basically the $25 for each share. If you buy 100 shares, then that means you can get $2,500 just in about 5 days, in about 1 week. So let's go to another question. Question 4: how to predict this kind of invisible and effective support and resistance. So I will tell you how. And this kind of Uping stock price prediction and analysis model is basically build a observer and outside of this stock price black box. So I already talked about this kind of a feedback process or the black box model in the previous slide. And the Uping stock trend prediction model, they build a observer using the advanced mathematical calculation based on the machine learning algorithm and the advanced signal processing technique. So it basically collects the output data of the stock price in that specific time frame. That's a new value, and also collect all the previous value of the stock price value in the previous time frame, in the previous data set. So it will collect this kind of information, and we also observe the momentum, observe the feedback of those kind of stock price trend and the stock price feedback to the input of the model. So it will do those kind of machine learning algorithm and the signal processing and using the mathematical model. So it will kind of observe and then then predict the embedded hidden effective resistance and the trend, resistance and the support, and then based on the new data and the previous data, and then do the iteration and the cycling and the iterations, and then it can do the iteration and then finalize the effective resistance and the support calculations. So using this kind of a model, basically you can predict the maximum value or the minimum value or the effective resistance or effective support of the stock price in a specific time frame. So if you are interested in this kind of stock price analysis, you can subscribe the Uping stock trend prediction channel, and using this subscription link at this area, or you can watch more videos in YouTube. Thank you for watching the video.